Hi there, my name is Kara Johnson. I'm your instructor for Fundamentals of Biology online. This is an 8-week summer course. Just to make sure that that's what you signed up for, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I like to do these videos so that people can put a face with my name and know a little bit about their instructor. And so I have a background in biology. My master's degree is in biology from Western Washington University, where I focused my research on plant, soil ecology, and wetlands, and also on biogeochemistry. And I worked for many, many years in my field. I have worked as doing wetland restoration as an environmental consultant and as the staff scientist for an environmental nonprofit for many years. I also have a Bachelor of Science in Biology from the University of Texas at Austin and a Bachelor of Arts in Spanish language. And I am in my 10th year, going into my 10th year of teaching. I used to teach up at Ozarka College in Izard County in the small town of Melbourne. And at that time, I was living in Fulton County near the county seat of Salem. And I moved to Athens, which is right down the road from UACCM, about 3 years ago. I have a plant nursery that's based on in my backyard, and I have 3 boys, 3 dogs, 3 chickens, and 1 husband. We're a very outdoorsy family. We love to do everything from hiking and jeep riding to my personal favorite, which is kayaking and swimming. Last year, I was able to get a kayak, which is a hybrid with a stand-up paddleboard, and that's the most fun thing that I've gotten. And we love to just go to the Buffalo River or to the um, Illinois Bayou Bluff area nearby our house. And we also enjoy golfing and just creek walking and running around in our yard. And so now that you know a little bit about me, I'm going to give you some tips to succeeding in this course. So this is a pretty quick course. It is 8 weeks, whereas a typical semester is 16 weeks. You're going to still do the same amount of work, but it's going to be condensed into half the time. So you can work twice as fast. And so if you're taking another course, just keep in mind that you're going to have to put in quite a bit of effort in a short period of time. And so a few things are that, of course, like all of your other classes that you take at UACCM, you have a course shell in Blackboard, and that is where you can find everything that you need for this course. You will have your syllabus, which there are a couple different ways to access your syllabus on the information bar on the left-hand side of when you're in the course. There's a link that says syllabus and course schedule. So if you click on that, you can get to your syllabus. There's also another link under course materials and under begin here. So there are several places where you can get to it. You need to read the syllabus. It has all of the little details about my grading policies, the point breakdown, all of those things that you're going to need to know. There is also a quiz over the syllabus that's due this Saturday, so that should be an easy 10 points for you if you do your diligence and read over the syllabus. And then also in that same folder with the syllabus is a schedule of all your assignments for the semester. In Blackboard, I have the assignments broken down by week, and that's how they're arranged on that course schedule. That it's a printable Word document. And if I were you, I would probably just either print it out and put it somewhere prominent, like you have a workspace that you usually sit at with your computer and do your coursework, or save it onto your computer. Another thing I want to just mention quickly, everyone in here should know this already, but please make sure that you pay attention to our device requirements. You're not going to be successful in this course if you're trying to do everything on a cell phone. You're going to need at least an iPad or a laptop, which the requirements are detailed in the syllabus. I also wanted to talk about communication. During the summer, I don't have official office hours, and if you need to speak with me, we can schedule a phone call or a video conference. The best way to get a hold of me or to get in touch with me is through my email. Make sure to go into your email app, which you can put on your phone. I have mine on my phone, and email me from your UACCM address. If you try to message me through the course in Blackboard, I don't get the notification for that, and the way that I can access those messages is kind of convoluted, so sometimes I don't see them in there. And so if you're trying to get a hold of me and you need to talk to me or you need to hear back from me, make sure you email me. Also, make sure you use your official UACCM email address or else I won't be able to respond to any of your questions. And let's see, I actually have a list, so I don't want to forget anything. For as far as contacting me, I do my best to get back to people immediately, but give me at least one business day. So if you contact me on Monday, give me until close of business on Tuesday. And if I don't get back to you by then, you might want to send your email again because I may not have received it. If you contact me on Friday, close of next business day is going to be that Monday. So just keep that in mind if you need to get a hold of me. It can take a little bit. And most anything that needs fixing, it's not going to be some type of immediate thing that we need to address that night. We'll work it out. So the other thing that I wanted you to know is that in this course we're going to be using Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering that has both your electronic textbook as well as your chapter assignments. We're going to cover 14 chapters, and for each of those 14 chapters there's a reading assignment, which doesn't count for points. There is they call it a dynamic study module. It's basically a chapter assignment and then a quiz. And both of those assignments, the quiz and the study module, are worth 10 points apiece. And so that right there adds up to 280 points. So don't discount just because, so I grade on total points, and just because those assignments aren't worth a ton of points apiece, don't discount them because together they add up to almost 3 exam grades worth of points. And so that can really help to boost your grade. You have a more predictable outcome on quizzes and study modules than you do on exams. So if especially if you know you're not a strong test taker, make sure and do all your homework and quizzes. Okay, so all of those things are through Pearson, MyLab, and Mastering. I do have the link in the corresponding folder for whatever week those assignments are in Blackboard. So I have them divided up weeks 1 through, I actually have 9 weeks because I have the final exam as your 9th week. And so, one of the very first things you need to do after you read the syllabus is to get your Pearson access. You can get your access code either through the UACCM bookstore, or you can actually click on any one of the links that's in my course shell, and that will take you to the page to register, and it will give you the option of buying or entering your access code. Now, sometimes I know people will wait for, like if they have a financial aid payment that they know is coming, or else maybe their next paycheck or whatever, sometimes it takes people a little bit before they can get their access code. This is a short semester, so you don't want to wait. You have the option of getting a temporary access code. When you go and click on anyone in my course shell, there's a whole bunch of different, all of the assignments that are in there have a Pearson logo with a link on them. Just click on any one of those. Click on e-text or any one of those assignments, and it will give you the option of getting a temporary access code, and that will last you for 2 weeks. So that should be long enough to get it, like, I don't know, if you're waiting on an access code to come in, if you haven't gotten a chance to go to the bookstore, if you're waiting for your funds that are going to pay for it, any of those things, just get that temporary code, and then when you get your permanent code, it's a seamless transition. It won't mess you up in any way. You can just transition right into your permanent access. Okay, so that's Pearson Access. The other thing that I wanted to just go over is kind of give you a breakdown of what the assignments are. And so, like I said a minute ago, I grade on total points. We will have 4 exams, just regular exams. and lecture exams, and those are 100 points apiece. And then we have 2 lab exams, which are going to be covering the material you cover in your lab. Those are worth 100 points apiece. Then you have your 28, well, it's 14 chapter assignments, 14 chapter quizzes, worth 10 points apiece. Then you also have 10 labs that you're going to do some, and they're worth 10 points apiece. Again, just because they're not worth a ton of points, don't feel like you can skip those. That can make a big difference in your grade. It can make the difference between 1 letter grade and the next, or even sometimes 2 letter grades. Do your work. That's that people always ask me what they need to do to succeed. Do your work. Some people, you don't really have a lot of control over whether you're a good test taker or not. And being prepared for a test is always going to help with your test grade. But what you do have control over is you have control over how much effort you put in actually doing the work. And not only will doing those assignments and labs give you points, that's also going to prepare you to do better on those, to make sure to take those seriously. Okay, so you have labs. Some of the labs are virtual labs, and they're through Pearson. Some of them are what I like to call kitchen labs, and those are just things that you can do in your house with common household items. You may have them already, or you may need to purchase a few things. They're inexpensive through the grocery store or Walmart or the dollar store or somewhere like that. So that is your kind of the bulk of your assignment. Now also, we have a comprehensive final. You do not have to come into campus to take your final. However, it is going to be using the Respondus Lockdown Browser, which you want to make sure to download from the UACCM webpage. If you had one, if you had the Lockdown Browser from another college or university, you still need to go ahead and get ours. Otherwise, it won't work. It will be incompatible with our system. The final exam's worth 100 points. It's comprehensive, meaning it covers a little bit of everything that we've covered throughout the semester. And then the very last thing, which is my favorite assignment, is the Field Lab Notebook, which is also worth 100 points. The Field Lab Notebook is another one of those things where it is worth the same as an exam grade. It should boost your grade. It takes work to get it done, but the main thing is that if you do the work and you follow the instructions, there's no reason why you shouldn't get a high A on that. So that should really boost your grade. It's something that I'm gonna put the instructions in your course shell later today. So I recommend reading over those instructions. The sort of premise of it is that you're going to take pictures of a bunch of different organisms and you have to include specific information about them. But if you don't follow the instructions when you take your pictures, you're not going to get credit. So make sure to read over the assignment. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you? Okay, so that's the point breakdown and the assignment. One last thing I wanted to say about the assignments is that I will drop your lowest exam grade, not including lab exams, and not including the final, but I will drop your lowest of your 4 lecture exam grades, and I also will drop 2 lab grades. I do not allow makeup work. Do not ask me to make up work. There's no reason, especially in an online class, to make anything up. You have a whole week to get your stuff done. So if you miss it, you just miss it. And if it's a lab or an exam, you can just use it for your drop grade. I will not. We don't have time in an 8-week semester anyway, but we're not going down that road. So don't even ask. All right. So that's pretty much it. You need to get going really quickly. There's also a pre-test in your getting started in biology folder. And for that, you're going to need to, it doesn't count for any points. It's a way of us assessing ourselves. We'll take 1 at the beginning of the semester and 1 at the end. Then you have your syllabus quiz. We have an introductory discussion. There are your assignments for chapters 1 and 2. And then I don't have any lab assignments starting until next week. So I'm trying to give you a little break so you can get rolling with everything. Please contact me if you need, and I hope that we have a really good semester together. And I think that's it. And make sure and get in your course shell every day to make sure you don't miss any announcements or anything. I'll talk to you later. Bye.